Welcome to Slow Night, Ancient Tales. As the world outside quiets down, let your mind drift away to a time of heroes, magic, and enduring legends. Tonight, we continue our journey with part 5 of the Tale of Lady Park. Settle in, take a deep, slow breath, and let these ancient whispers guide you into a deep and peaceful slumber. The Tale of Lady Park, Part 5. Meanwhile, it is a common truth of human life that joy is often followed by sorrow. His Excellency's age was then 80. He suddenly fell ill, and 100 medicines proved useless. As his condition grew increasingly critical, he called for Sebek and Lady Park, seating them before him. Unable to hide his endless sorrow, he departed from this world. Having lost both parents within 100 days, how could their grief not be boundless? They conducted the funeral rites with full propriety and mourned endlessly. Meanwhile, the Qing forces grew strong and frequently invaded, but General Im Gyeongyap won every battle, driving them back and firmly defending the northern borders. The Qing king gathered his ministers and said, "Though our lands are vast, we do not have a single subject who can suppress Joseon's Im Gyeongyap. How pitiful is this?" The ministers remained silent. At this time, the Qing king's queen, though a woman, was an unparalleled hero. She understood the astronomy above and the geography below. Sitting down, she knew of matters outside the iron walls, and standing up, she knew of matters miles away. Thus, the queen spoke to the king. "I have recently observed the signs of the heavens, and it seems there is a divine person in Joseon. If this divine person exists, even if we were to suppress Gyeongyeop, it would be difficult to conquer Joseon." The king was greatly startled and said, "All my life I have feared Gyeongyeop more than Xiang Yu, who had the strength to uproot mountains, or Zhao Zilong of the Three Kingdoms era. If there is a divine person even greater than him, how could we dare to look upon their lands again?" As he endlessly lamented, the queen spoke once more. "Now, looking at the heavens, Joseon's fortune is exhausted. However, even if we send an army of 1,000,000, we cannot conquer Joseon before eliminating that divine person. I have thought of a brilliant plan. It would be best to find an assassin, send them to Joseon first, eliminate the divine person, and then conquer Joseon." The king asked, "If so, what kind of person do you wish to send?" The queen replied, "The people of Joseon are easily swayed by wealth and beauty. We must find a woman whose beauty rivals the autumn moon, whose writing is like Li Bai, whose calligraphy is like Wang Shiji, whose speech possesses the eloquence of great strategists, whose swordsmanship mocks the greatest generals, and whose wisdom equals Zhuge Liang. If we send such a woman, we will surely succeed." Hearing this, the king said, "That plan is most extraordinary." He immediately discussed it with his ministers and searched in all directions. It just so happened that among the women of the realm, there was one named Gilhongdae. Her beauty was like that of legendary consorts, her speech mocked the greatest diplomats, her lute playing scoffed at master musicians, and her bravery was like that of a dragon or a tiger. The queen saw the king and said, "Gilhongdae's music, wisdom, and writing are extraordinary. On top of that, she is an absolute beauty and possesses the bravery of 10,000 men. If we send this person, I believe we will succeed." The king rejoiced greatly, summoned Gilhongdae and said, "Go to Joseon, spy on them, achieve a great deed, and establish your name." Gilhongdae replied, "Though this humble woman lacks talent, the nation's grace is immeasurable. How could I avoid going through fire and water for you?" The king said, "Your words are most admirable. If you go to Joseon and bring back the head of the divine person, I will reward you with 1,000 pieces of gold and make you a lord of 10,000 households, recording your name in history for 10,000 generations." Gilhongdae replied, "Though I lack talent, I will go to Joseon and cut down the hero and the person of magic with a single stroke of my sword, relieving your majesty's worries." The king earnestly requested, "When you go to Joseon, the language will be different, so learn it thoroughly before you depart." After she was taught the language and the customs of Joseon, he instructed her again, "When you arrive in Joseon, first enter the capital, find the house of the state counselor, and there you will find the divine person. Converse with her smoothly. Be sure not to show your true skills, but lure the divine person and cut off her head. On your way back, stop at Uiju, cut off Im Gyeongyeop's head and return. Be extremely careful not to ruin this great matter." With that, Gilhongdae took her leave, packed her belongings, headed straight across the East Sea, and arrived at the capital of Joseon. Meanwhile, Lady Park observed the heavens, invited the counselor, and said, "On a certain month and day, a certain woman will come to your door and greet you with enchanting words. Please be careful, do not treat her with closeness, and guide her away to the Piwadang pavilion." The counselor asked, "What kind of woman is she that she would come seeking me?" The lady replied, "You will come to know eventually, so please do not question it too much, and just follow my words so that things do not go wrong. When that woman comes, she will ask to stay in your guest quarters. Please be careful and do not be fooled by her cunning trick. Her face is extraordinarily beautiful, and she possesses every charm. Moreover, her writing is elegant. If you become captivated by her beauty and share a bed with her, you will face a great disaster. Please do not fall for her deceit and send her straight to Piwadang. In the meantime, have some liquor made. Brew one vessel using highly concentrated grain to make an incredibly strong liquor, and brew another vessel as a mild drink. Prepare plenty of side dishes, and when the day comes, do exactly as I say." The counselor listened, found it somewhat strange, but agreed and prepared plenty of liquor and food. At this time, Gilhongdae arrived in Joseon with wicked intentions and sought out the counselor's house. When the day came, she dressed up flawlessly and presented herself to the counselor. The counselor asked, "What kind of woman are you?" Gilhongdae replied, "I am a humble country entertainer living in the lower provinces. I came to the capital for sightseeing, but I lack servants and have no proper place to stay. Wandering around, I have presumptuously arrived before your excellency's door." The counselor said, "If so, where are you originally from, and what is your name?" Gilhongdae respectfully replied, "I live in Hoyang, Gangwon-do. Losing my parents early, I wandered and begged for food until I became a government servant in that town. My name is Seol Jungmei." Her speech was gentle, and her demeanor was extraordinary. The counselor observed her actions and saw she was no ordinary woman. Keeping his suspicions hidden, he offered her a seat. As they talked playfully for a long time, he noticed her writing was elegant. Her speech flowed like water from a green mountain, her intellect was vast as the blue sea, and she was exceptionally skillful in conversation. The counselor greatly praised her, saying, "There are many talented scholars and writers in the capital, but none can match you." He was extremely fond of her, but remembering Lady Park's warning, his suspicions grew deep. He spoke to her again. "The sun is now setting behind the mountains, and daylight is scarce. Go into Piwadang in the rear garden and rest comfortably." At this, the woman replied, "As a lowly country entertainer, I have presumptuously approached your excellency. Tonight, I wish to serve your excellency and clear away my distant, lonely feelings." The counselor said, "I, too, earnestly wish to share my time with you, but I have pressing matters to attend to tonight. I am setting this aside for a later date, so do not feel disappointed. Go into the inner quarters and rest comfortably." The woman replied, "How could someone as lowly as myself even dream of staying, even for a single night, in the presence of the noble lady? It is highly inappropriate." The counselor said, "Your words make sense, but both the lady and you are women, so what fault could there be?" Saying this, he immediately called for the maidservant Gewa and ordered, "Take this woman and let her rest comfortably in Piwadang." Gewa obeyed the command, immediately guided the woman into the pavilion, and relayed to Lady Park what His Excellency had ordered. Hearing this, Lady Park invited the woman in. The woman entered, and after they exchanged proper greetings and took their seats, Lady Park asked, "What kind of person are you that you have come seeking my house?" The woman replied, "I am a humble country entertainer. I came to the capital for sightseeing but lost my way and presumptuously sought out your house. I am endlessly terrified and humbled." Lady Park said, "Looking at your appearance, you are different from ordinary people. You have wasted your journey in vain and come here pointlessly." She then called Gyewa. "A guest has just arrived, so bring in the liquor and food." Gyewa acknowledged the order, prepared delicacies on a jade tray, and brought 2 vessels of liquor, hiding one just outside the door. As Gyewa offered the drinks, she served the strong liquor to the guest, and the mild liquor to Lady Park. Exhausted from her journey and suffering from severe thirst and hunger, the woman did not decline in the slightest. She drank the potent liquor in just a few gulps. Her manner was truly different from an ordinary person. Lady Park, too, drank without showing even the slightest hint of intoxication. At this time, the counselor and the servants, finding her appearance strange, hid outside the back door and watched her actions for a long time. There was not a single person among them who was not utterly astonished. The echoes of tonight's tale slowly fade into the shadows, and so too should your waking thoughts. Rest your mind, knowing these ancient stories will be here waiting for you whenever the night feels too long. May you find comfort in the quiet, sweet dreams from slow night, ancient tales. Good night.